Stop. Look down. The phone is a black mirror in your palm. Cold. Silent. It's been 3 hours. 7. You've lost count. The clock ticks inside your ribs, a dull, anxious thud. Why hasn't she replied? You felt the shift. The air in the room changed, but you couldn't see the wires being cut. You were too busy being good, too busy being kind, available, a constant, gentle presence. You believed in the transaction, your goodness for her loyalty. Your heart, held in offering, was supposed to be met with soft hands. But look around. The nice guys are ghosts. The pleasers are furniture. The men who would bleed for a smile are the ones she steps over without a glance. Why? Because nature does not respect what begs to be kept. You've been lied to. They sold you a fairy tale. Be sweet. Be safe. Be there, and love will find you. It's poison. It's the slow, quiet death of your power. And you feel it now, don't you? That hollow ache. The confusion. The quiet rage as you watch other men command rooms, command attention, while you work for scraps like a servant. What do they have that you don't? It's not their looks. It's not their money. It's their frame. 5 centuries ago, a man named Niccolò Machiavelli tore the pretty masks off human nature. He saw the raw, pulsing truth. People are ungrateful, fickle. They pretend, they dissemble. Power is never given. It is taken by the strategic, by those willing to see the game for what it is. You are tired of being a passenger. You are tired of the mind games, the silent treatments, the feeling that you're dancing to a tune you can't even hear. Good. That anger is fuel. In the next 20 minutes, we are going to perform an autopsy on the nice guy they buried you alive inside. We are going to apply the ruthless, elegant principles of statecraft to the chaotic battlefield of desire. I am handing you 7 psychological keys. These are not pickup lines. They are mental triggers, reality-altering codes. Once inserted into your consciousness, you will see the machinery of human interaction laid bare. You will see the strings. A warning, this knowledge is irreversible. Once you see the gears turning behind her eyes, behind everyone's eyes, you cannot unsee it. The world will look different. You will feel like a god walking among sleepers. If you are ready to stop being the fan in the stands and become the prize on the podium, if you are ready to feel your own spine again, keep watching. The silence ends now. Principle 1. The economy of absence. Scarcity is your currency. Breathe. Feel the air. It's free. It's everywhere. You don't value it. You only think about air when you're drowning. Right now, you are free air. You are abundant. You text back in seconds. You clear your schedule for a maybe. You are always there, a constant, dependable signal. You think it's devotion. You are whispering a psychological truth. I have nothing more important than you. Machiavelli wrote it plainly. Familiarity breeds contempt. The more a leader is seen, the less he is feared, the less he is revered. Attraction obeys the same law. Your constant presence is a theft. You are stealing from her the most potent narcotic the human mind can produce, imagination. When you vanish, you create a vacuum. In that silence, her mind must work. Where is he? Who is he with? Is he thinking of me? It builds a version of you more perfect, more compelling than reality. You are denying her this drug. You are suffocating her with your availability. The Machiavellian shift. You must master calculated absence. This is not childish ghosting. This is the byproduct of a man who owns his time. When you are immersed in building your empire, when your body, your mind, your mission are your primary focus, your absence is not a tactic. It is a statement of value. She can smell the difference. She knows the man pretending to be busy to provoke her interest. That is a beggar with a strategy. She intuits the man who is busy building a life so vast. Her presence is a privilege. That is a king. The test is coming. The phone will sit silent. The old you claws at your throat, screaming to double text, to explain, to fix. The new you? The prince? He places the phone face down. He returns to the work that matters. You do not punish her with silence. You simply refuse to reward her with your anxiety. Understand this deep, biological wiring. Humans chase what retreats. It is the hunter's instinct. If you are always sprinting toward her, you force her to run away to keep the chase alive. Stop running. Stand. Still. Turn your back. Walk. With purpose, toward your own horizons. And watch. Just watch, as she turns to follow. Do you feel it? The power of silence? Drop a scarcity. in the comments if you're starting to see. But this is just the surface. The first layer of the code. What we unlock next, this is where most men break. It's time to become unpredictable. Principle 2. Emotional unpredictability. The dopamine tyrant. Think of a slot machine. If it paid every single time, you'd collect your coins and walk away. Bored. But it doesn't. It pays sometimes. A win feels random. A loss feels near miss. That erratic, unpredictable reward system triggers a dopamine explosion that rivals hard drugs. Psychologists call it intermittent reinforcement. It is the engine of addiction. You have been a predictable machine. You are predictably nice, predictably attentive, predictably hurt. She knows every button. She knows what to say to make you smile, what to do to make you apologize. You are a book she finished on the first date. Why would she reread it? Machiavelli told his prince, "You must be both the lion and the fox." The lion, fierce, strong, terrifying. The fox, cunning, elusive, impossible to pin down. You must be both. You must shatter the pattern of your own behavior. If you are the rock, the stoic, surprise her. Pull her close and whisper something devastatingly poetic. Raw. If you are the warm, constant sun, pull back. Become cold, analytical, distant for a day. Not from malice, but to remind her, my attention is not an entitlement. It is a reward. It must be earned. When she cannot predict your emotional weather, she is forced to become a meteorologist dedicated to you. She must study you. She must tread carefully. This focus, this intense, nervous attention, this is the seed of obsession. Do not mistake this for cruelty. This is about possessing a full spectrum of emotion that is yours alone. Most men are mirrors. If she's happy, they beam. If she's sad, they weep. If she's cold, they shiver and beg for warmth. You are letting her climate control your inner world. To own the frame, you must become your own weather system. You can be content when she is distant. You can be calm when she is chaotic. This breaks her control. When she pushes a button and gets static, her confidence shatters. She begins to seek your validation. She starts asking the fatal question, what is he thinking? The moment that question forms in her mind, you have won the war. Does this feel ruthless? It should. We are playing for keeps. Smash that like button if you're ready to go deeper. The next key doesn't just play the game, it rewrites her sense of self. Principle 3. The mirror of Narcissus, validation as a weapon. Let's speak a hard truth. We are all narcissists. We care, first and foremost, about the reflection we see in the world's eyes. Machiavelli knew, to control, you do not announce your desires. You show people a reflection of their own. What does a woman desire above all? To be seen, not just looked at, witnessed. To be the protagonist of her own epic story. Most men fail here. They try to impress by broadcasting their job, their car, their achievements. They are shouting, look at me. Am I good enough? It reeks of insecurity. The Machiavellian does the opposite. He becomes the mirror. You talk less. You listen, but with a predatory intensity. You ask questions that slice through the small talk. Why do you really do that? What are you truly afraid of? You show the world this armor, but I see the girl hiding behind it. When you speak to her shadow self, the part she hides, you forge a connection that feels like fate. She will think, I've never been understood like this. She feels this because you are reflecting her own ego back at her, polished and profound. You are giving her the stage. Here lies the trap, the control. You are the one holding the mirror. You talk less. You listen, but with a predatory intensity. You ask questions that slice through the small talk. Why do you really do that? What are you truly afraid of? You show the world this armor, but I see the girl hiding behind it. When you speak to her shadow self, the part she hides, you forge a connection that feels like fate. She will think, I've never been understood like this. She feels this because you are reflecting her own ego back at her, polished and profound. You are giving her the stage. Here lies the trap, the control. You are the one holding the mirror. You can choose when to hold it up, and you can choose when to let it go dark. When you grant someone this deep, surgical validation, they become addicted to the reflection. And when you withdraw it, when you stop asking, when your gaze becomes ordinary, she will scramble. She will contort herself to see that glorious version of herself in your eyes again. Use this with precision. Do not compliment her beauty. Every fool does that. Validate her effort. Validate her darkness. Validate the cunning, the ambition, the pain she conceals. Make her feel exposed, yet utterly safe. This is psychological intimacy. It is a chain stronger than steel. Are your fingers trembling? That's the weight of real power. Comment, mirror, right now if you understand the magnitude of this key. But to wield it, you must first destroy the greatest lie you've ever been sold, the lie that keeps you on your knees. Principle 4. Destroy the pedestal, the invitation to reality. There is a fatal virus in your mind. It was installed by fairy tales, by movies, by a culture that told you women are celestial beings. Perfect, pure, to be worshipped. This is the pedestal, and it is psychological poison. Think, if you treat her like a celebrity, she has no choice but to treat you like a fan. Fans buy tickets. Fans wait in line. Fans sleep alone, dreaming of a touch. Machiavelli demanded his prince see the world as it is, not as he wishes it to be. See her as she is. Human, flawed, insecure, capable of pettiness, of vanity, of fear. She wakes up with morning breath. She has regrets. When you gaze at her with worship, she feels your inferiority. She senses you believe she is out of your league. And women are hypergamous. They instinctively seek to date across or up, never down. By placing her on a pedestal, you are kneeling in the dirt and pointing up. You are signaling, I am beneath you. To control the dynamic, you must shatter the pedestal. Look at her with level eyes. Be willing to disagree, to call out her nonsense, to tease her, to challenge her. When a beautiful woman is used to men stumbling over their words, the man who calmly says, I think you're wrong, is an earthquake. It signals you are not intimidated by her form. It signals you value your own truth more than her approval. This is the bedrock of respect. She cannot respect a man she can walk over. She cannot love a man she does not respect. By tearing down the pedestal, you are not insulting her. You are offering her a gift, the chance to meet you on solid ground, where real connection is built. Stop apologizing for your existence. Stop laughing at unfunny jokes. Stop nodding at stupid opinions. Be real. Be ruthless with your standards. If she steps out of line, check her, not with anger, but with amused detachment, like watching a kitten misbehave. Are you always this much trouble? Shift the frame forever. From, I hope she likes me, to, is she even good enough for me? This changes everything. Share this with one brother who needs to hear it right now. He's drowning in silence. But knowing is not enough. You must learn the language of true authority, a language of nothing. Principle 5. The authority of silence, the sovereign's tool. Machiavelli knew, the man who speaks least holds the most power. In negotiation, the one who fills the silence loses. In argument, the one who shouts loses. In seduction, the one who over-explains bleeds power. You talk too much. You explain, justify, clarify. You text paragraphs, afraid of misunderstanding. You are leaking your essence, word by word. Mystery cannot exist in a biography. If you spill your entire history on the first date, you are a solved puzzle, ready to be boxed and shelved. You must remain an enigma, a cliffhanger. Use silence as your weapon. When she tests you, when she throws a fit, picks a fight, seeks to provoke, give her nothing. Meet her eyes with calm, unreadable depth. Let the silence stretch. Let it become a tangible thing, thick in the room. She will rush to fill it. She will backtrack, explain, seek your approval. Silence projects absolute confidence. It says you are comfortable in your own mind. It says you are the evaluator. It triggers her anxiety loop. Why isn't he reacting? What is he thinking? Remember, you are the prince. The prince does not justify his decrees. He states them. Or better, he acts. Never say, I'm a high-value man. Demonstrate it. Never say, I won't tolerate disrespect. Punish it with absence. Words are for petitioners. Silence is for sovereigns. Master the pause. Before you answer any question, wait. 3 seconds. Breathe. Let her hang in the space of your calm. Then speak. That tiny gap dismantles her autopilot. It makes your words weigh 1,000 pounds. Subscribe. Do it now. Because what I reveal next is the nuclear option. The one move that cannot be faked. The single most terrifying and attractive thing you can ever do. Principle 6. The willingness to walk away, the ultimate frame. We have arrived at the heart of darkness. The ultimate power move. The willingness to walk away. Forever. Machiavelli was clear. A prince must rely on his own strength, never the goodwill of others. If you need her, she owns you. If you prefer her, but can live without her, you own the world. Most men are trapped in mediocrity, in disrespect, in pain, because they fear the void. They fear being alone. They negotiate from desperate weakness. The moment you internalize, bone deep, soul deep, that you are the prize, the universe shifts. The moment you know, with certainty, that there are billions of women but only one you, the fear evaporates. This is no bluff. Women have a predator's instinct for fear. They smell a bluff like blood and water. You must cultivate a life so rich, so driven by purpose, so full of genuine options, that losing her is a minor narrative edit, not the end of the story. When she knows, in her marrow, that you will hold the door open for her to leave the moment she disrespects your kingdom, she will not walk out. She will close the door and stay. Because paradoxically, safety is found only within the unshakable walls of a strong man's boundaries. If your boundaries are tissue paper, she feels adrift, unsafe. If your no is a stone wall, she can finally relax. She can surrender into her femininity. She wants to be led, but she can only be led by a man who knows his destination, with or without her. This is the final paradox. You only keep what you are willing to lose. Clench sand in your fist, and it drains through your fingers. Open your palm, and it rests there, complete. Build your kingdom. Your mission is the law. If she wishes to be queen, she must abide by the constitution of your realm. If not, the gate is open. The path is clear. That energy, that calm, detached, unshakable sovereignty, is catnip to the feminine soul. It is the energy of a man who cannot be controlled. And therefore, he is the only man worth controlling. And failing that, the only man worth submitting to. The ultimate twist, the throne is within. Look back. Calculated absence. Emotional unpredictability. The mirror. Destroying the pedestal. Sovereign silence. The willingness to walk. You clicked for a guide to control her. But did you notice the pattern? Every single law is about controlling you. That is the devastating, beautiful secret of true power. You cannot control another human being. Not truly. You can only manipulate variables, influence decisions. But you can control yourself with absolute, tyrannical discipline. Your past failures were not because you didn't know the right lines. They were because you were a slave to your need for her validation, a slave to your fear of loneliness, a slave to your own itching, thirsty desperation. When you conquer those slaves within, when you become a man who does not need, you cease to be a player in her game. You become the gravity. She does not submit to your force. She orbits your order. She does not submit to your anger. She is calmed by your peace. Control is not a clenched fist. It is a still mind. When you are the most grounded, immovable element in any room, physics takes over. Everything begins to revolve around you. So do not leave here to play cheap tricks. Leave here to ruthlessly govern your own mind. Kill the nice guy. He is weak. He is a liar. He trades his dignity for crumbs. Birth the prince. He is strong. He is honest. He builds a throne and invites a queen to join him. The world is waiting, not for you to beg, but for you to rule. Your first decree starts now. If you are ready, if you are truly ready to step out of the shadows and into your power, type it. Scream it into the void. Let this be your line in the sand. I choose power. Drop that in the comments right now. This was the foundation. You have learned how to stand. But standing is static. A king must also move. A predator must know when to strike. In the next video, we go into the shadows. We break down the exact, calculated maneuvers, the timing, the cues, the psychological triggers, to not just attract, but to ethically captivate. To make your presence an addiction she volunteers for. This is where theory becomes action, where the prince learns his dance of war. One viewer last week called this next tape emotional witchcraft. He said it changed his life in 12 minutes. You will not see it on your feed. The algorithm hides it. The only way in is through the gate. Smash that subscribe button. Turn on all notifications. Bell icon. Now. Because when it drops, and it drops soon, the ones who are ready will move. The rest will be left in the same silence they started in, staring at a phone that never rings. The choice is yours. Stay there, or come claim what's yours. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Your new life is one click away. Do not miss your call to power.